Okay, so Khulud.
عليكم السلام.
So for anyone who's watching the video and doesn't know what's happening, usually Khulud gives commentary on interesting Reddit stories, and she shares these commentaries on LinkedIn. Her personal LinkedIn account is going to be in the description of this video. One of the Reddit posts she commented on with good luck. I was like a couple of months ago without what I felt back then is she wasn't willing to actually give a detailed commentary on this question posted by someone on Reddit. And the question is about quitting social media. So I am interested, Khulud, and I hope anyone who's watching the video on LinkedIn or YouTube would also be interested to actually get a life coach advice or a personal coach advice on this question. So can we get some? Can we get your commentary on this question related to social media? Should we read it?
Yeah, can we revisit it? Let's hear it.
Okay. Someone is asking, finally deciding what to do about quitting social media thing. The day before yesterday, I posted asking if I should continue instant deletion of social media or do it in breaks. One app first week, the other the next week. I got some comments of opinions and suggestions and all. Maximum where stay on the complete deletion part. And I know that I think this might be related or relevant to some coaching frameworks that you use. Some suggestions were also about the concerning part that if we begin an instant sprint, one slip break the whole chain, putting me back to starting point or to starting part. So just suggestions were several, like don't let one slip define, make some punishments to harden the control, and similar many. Firstly, thank you all. Got several DMs of people on the same journey. Other, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I've decided to continue the same way. For 2 days, I was out of home, busy. So again, I didn't use my any social media. Now I have got home. Now I've got home writing this, and I'll continue the same. Won't be able to post daily because not all days. Okay. So things to mention. One, Reddit doesn't come in social media list. Already told you in previous posts. Type of slip. Okay. So we got the idea. Delete them all together, or delete them in parts,
First
or what
things
do you
first.
think about the whole deletion first? The whole deletion concept of social media and quitting social media.
When I talk about this concept, we have to differentiate between Khulud the coach and Khulud the person. Because
Okay.
Khulud the person might have a certain approach or relationship with social media. Maybe I prefer it, maybe I don't. Maybe it's something I support. Maybe I don't. Maybe I get tired of it. Maybe I use it for things that I see are of benefit to me. Now that's Khulud the person. I may have an opinion on it. I may have a preference. But Khulud the coach will not bring that preference into the coaching conversation. As a coach, I would ask questions to explore and dig deeper into what's the reason behind this desire to quit social media. What's working? What's not working? What have they tried in the past? And they've touched upon that. But I would dig even deeper than that. If something hasn't worked, what stopped it from working? What were the barriers for this approach to work? What has worked in the past? How well did they work? What could be done to improve on something that has worked in the past? What else can we try? And so,
So this is you, the coach, right?
yeah, as a coach, we would dig deeper into this desire, into the history, what went on, what worked, what did not work, and then the potential options that are possible for the person to try. And then we'll talk about which of these options are they keen to try? How do they feel about it? How do they feel about how committed can they be? And then they get to decide. Now, again, back to this post, there's also a decision making process that is going on. Do I do this or do I not do this? When there are multiple options that are being put on the table, those options need to be explored further.
Each
Is it
option
something
individually.
new? Each option individually. Is this something that has been tested before? You tried this before? Did it work? Did it not work? How long did it work for? How many times did you try it?
And have you personally had a journey that you can look at and say, okay, my relationship with social media has changed over the past couple of years? Have you gone through a personal experience before like reaching uh, uh, where you are right now?
Absolutely. The first thing that changed is my presence on social media. By the way, I'm not a huge social media user. But even when it first came out, I was the type of person who would hear about it years later. People were talking about Instagrams years before I tried it. Same thing with Snapchat. That pattern, I've seen it in multiple social media platforms. Actually, a few months ago, I was browsing my old emails and I realized even there was like a very old platform that no longer exists. I remember using it briefly just because a family
Yahoo?
member was into it.
Yahoo?
No, it was not Yahoo. It was something that I don't think anybody might remember now. It wasn't something like a major platform like that. I think it started with P. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
I mean, I can call Messenger. That definitely died. The Microsoft Messenger. I can also recall BlackBerry. What is it? What was it called? The thing that you only can only text other
Yeah,
BlackBerry users.
BlackBerry
Yeah,
Messenger was a thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Yahoo as well.
I mean, I've always had social media sort of thing, but my presence on social media has changed tremendously. Before, you'd rarely find me there. I won't check it. I don't even see it as purposeful because it was something like to at the time to communicate with friends, right? We share stuff with friends. I meet my friends all the time. I'm connected with my friends all the time. I can reach out to them in so many ways. So why would I do that? Or I could connect with the people I want to connect with in real time. So at the time, I didn't see the point or the added advantage that the social media can offer. Not until later in time when I realized I could reach a wider audience. I have a bigger message that I want to share with the world. Um, Also, I realized that social media has helped me somewhat find my voice and refine it. The more I use it, especially now that I'm regularly present on LinkedIn, and I get to explore my own thoughts in that process, because it's not just like me coming to LinkedIn and just sharing things randomly, right? I'm intentionally filtering through my experiences and my thoughts and my knowledge and my expertise.
Yeah, but I think so. I think this person is not. They're not complaining about uh, producing content or being a productive person on social media. Their concern is about consumption. Uh, and so what I'm hearing from you is when I was a pure consumer, I didn't see the value of or a purpose behind social media until I started putting. I've had a mission or a purpose, and I started putting out content.
I would say it wasn't a priority. It was not something that I was heavily excited about.
So the whole thing about doing something in breaks or just deleting all apps as a practice, as a decision. If I am in a live coaching session right now with you and I tell you that's my problem, I have either option A or option B. I don't know what to do. Should I delete all social media apps and quit them, or delete them in parts? Let's just say that deleting them would be beneficial for me, and this guy seems to have already taken the decision that they want to quit social media. It's not helping them at all with their life. And so this decision has been made. I don't want. Would you usually actually, as a life coach, dig deeper into onto that decision? For example, if I come to you in a session and tell you I decided to quit social media, now I have two options. I need your help to know which one fits better. Would you tell me no before discussing the two options? Why do you want to quit social media? Well, la, you usually don't. As a
I
life
would be,
coach, yeah,
to answer the first question is like, which would be better? Again, that is for the client to decide what is the best option for them. It's not about which is better. It's about what does the client believe is the best option for them. And that best option is going to depend on what the client determines is the best option for them. Now, as a coach, I can probe, I can ask questions to evoke clarity, insight about those decisions, to capture more information, to have like an out loud discussion that helps the person think a little bit deeper. But at the end of the day, which option they go for is theirs. They may go for neither. In a coaching session, maybe they will come up with a third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh option, right? But the opposite can go as well. Like the opposite can take place, in which through the conversation, there's there's a new insight that may affect the goal itself. Is this what I really want? Or it could be something, is this what I would want to do now? It could be a matter of, this is not something that I might do immediately. This is something I might try 6 months from now, 1 year from now. Or it could be something, no, I really want to do that. And I'm just here to
yeah.
figure out what would be the best option for me to go through with achieving that goal.
Interesting. For anyone who clicked on the video to see a life coach advice on quitting social media, is there anything else that you can add from
Mohammed,
a
I
personal
lost you
experience?
for a second. I lost you.
Wait, what? I was disconnected. Right now I'm back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Yeah. So I was saying, as a life coach, is there anything that you'd like the viewer to leave the video with? Because the video's title is "A Life Coach Advice on Quitting Social Media." Is there anything you'd like to add? You'd like to sum up with maybe a personal experience or what you personally think?
I would say a life coach does not give you advice.
All right, guys, don't give me a dislike for this video because the title deceived you. But that's interesting, actually. Okay, so please go on.
I mean, I'm not gonna like, if I'm looking for advice, a coach is not the person I want to go to. A coach is somebody who's gonna help me go through the process that will let me find out. But a coach is not going to be the one who is like, well, here's what to do: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not what coaching is about, and this is not what the coaching process is about. The coaching process is not about you asking me what to do, and I tell you what to do.
Okay, so forget the part that, okay, you're advising or you're giving an advice of which is better. At least, can you give us the questions that you would ask this person in a live coaching session? The actual questions. So that the viewer or anyone that's watching this video can actually, if they're experiencing the same thing, they can take these questions and start thinking about them.
I might ask, what social media are they using? What is bothering them about the usage? How often do they use it? When do they use it throughout the day? What do they spend their time on the most? What do they enjoy? What is the reason, or what are the chain of events that took place that led to this decision? The decision of wanting to quit social media, for example. What have you tried in the past? How did that go for you? What is the most thing that you spend on social media? And many more questions I could ask just to understand the situation and to also understand the thought process, the thinking process of this person. What's stopping them?
And I just want to say
What
something
brings
that
them?
I've personally experienced when I brought to you the problem that I was facing with reading books. It's interesting how in life coaching, I don't know if you agree with this, the client, let's say, or the person who's receiving the life coaching, they would come to a session thinking that, oh, it's a decision. It's either I do this or that. خلاص, so I'm coming to a session. Okay, I've tried reading books. I wanna get back to reading, to the reading habit, and I don't know what to do. Should I do this or that? But then throughout the session, throughout being questioned, a lot of questions, in a lot of cases, and this happened to me, you end up with a realization that, oh wait, um, none of these options are valid, and I am thinking I'm fishing in the wrong sea. There's something else that if I change or if I do or if I focus on, I might end up with the result that I'm desiring. I don't know if you've seen this pattern a lot with life coaching or with people that you're meeting, where they come to a session thinking something and they come out a complete different mindset and a complete different perception of the situation.
I wouldn't say it's about the validity of the options. I would say that when we're exploring the same subject again and again and again and again, and we tend to develop a narrow view of the options that are available. The repeated thing that I hear is that we've exhausted these options. We've used them before, it hasn't worked. Uh, or that's the option that I have in mind, and I think these would be the best way, and these are the only options that I have. These are common phrases that I hear. In reality, that's not usually the case. There are options that are not explored. A person might not have thought about because they haven't considered one angle yet that they might explore in the coaching session. And that will bring forth more options.
And then there's this thing where where if I for example, I'm thinking of a problem, but when I articulate it to someone, oh, as I'm saying or as I'm describing the problem, I end up with answer. I end up finding answers. I don't know if this is also a pattern that you've observed. It happened to me a lot. I've seen a post on LinkedIn the other day where someone was facing a very complex situation with their business, and then as they were writing down the prompt to cloud to fix it, they found the solution and select all, delete. I have the solution. As they're stating or describing the situation.
It's very important to give our brains spaces to think. But what's unique about coaching is that it offers that space. Yes, there's a person that's in front of you. Usually in our day-to-day conversations, I would argue that that space is not available. You would find out that in the majority of the time when we're having a conversation with people, you'd find that the two people are having two separate conversations at the same time. Yes, they're talking to each other, but it does not necessarily mean that they're having the same conversation. That happens. Another thing that could hijack a conversation is a person who listens to speak. Yes, a person might be quiet, silent, not saying anything, but it does not necessarily mean that they are processing what they're hearing right now. It could be that their brain is thinking about what to say next. When when is the best time to interrupt this person and share my idea?
Yeah.
Okay, let them just say whatever they have to say, and once they do that, I'm ready. I'm ready to share my side. It's very, 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 very rare that you'll find somebody who's not processing something else in their mind while the other person is talking. The coaching space offers that. It allows you to think. It wouldn't pass judgment straight away. It wouldn't take everything at face value. Like what you said right now, it's done deal. It's written in stone. It gives you the space to think, the flexibility to think through and move from one point to another point. Sometimes even in our daily conversations, if you change your mind, that's going to be like, ah, I call that person. You just contradicted yourself. But it could just be a matter of I'm thinking, I'm processing my thoughts. I feel a certain type of way. I think this certain type of way. And then through this conversation, I have a different input. And now I'm moving forward to something else. And that's the beauty of coaching. That offered space, judgment free. That's the beauty of coaching.
Interesting. How would you do, like, you personally, would you actually delete them all if you want to delete them, or if you're finding, or you wouldn't say it's that simple, but if you are in their shoes, because a lot of people would love, a lot of people love this pattern of thinking, which is, if I am in their shoes, what would I do? Would you say it's complex, I can't answer, or would you say I delete them all and try seeing what happens, or I delete one by one? And same applies for smoking, quitting smoking. Will you just decide to quit, or لا والله I'm quitting for 10 hours a day, for example, and then 11 hours a day, and then 15 hours a day, and then 2 days a week?
I've always been very curious about going through a social media fast. I actually met somebody who has done it. They've done it for either 3 days or one whole week. I'm not really sure.
Where they
Um,
deleted the whole thing, the whole apps, all apps.
they spent their day not just without social media, without technology in general. They just
Wow.
they just had a technology fast. Like they actually it was they they did not say anything throughout the 3 days. It's just they're silent.
So
They just
that's
spent
next level caveman lifestyle.
yeah. They spent 3 days in silence, not speaking to anybody, not engaging through social media. And I've always been curious to go through that experience, to just explore um, how my body will react, how my brain will react. Um, but I don't think I'm gonna do it anytime soon. Someday. It's a someday thing. I think it will be very interesting.
Okay. Thank you, Khulud, and we'll see you in future videos. Thanks.
Inshallah. That was a pleasure.